Hello everyone. It is Thursday, the day after New Comic Book Day, but yesterday I had a dental procedure done. I had a tooth pulled, and so I'm really not in the, wasn't in the mood to talk yesterday, so I thought I would try to do the video today. And I didn't have a ton of things I bought, and then I have a couple of little rants at the, not really rants, but a couple of little comments and twists at the end. So let's jump right into the books. First book I picked up today, Deadpool Back in Black. That was a #1. This is the regular cover. And then Back in Black variant cover right here. It's Deadpool. It's a new storyline. It's sold really well, obviously. So I'm always going to buy the Deadpool. I've said I don't buy a lot of Marvel because I'm kind of disappointed in Marvel, but the Deadpool stuff sells well for at the shop, and the stories are usually pretty good. Ninja Turtles #2, which I enjoyed #1 on the IDW release, and then this is subcover. I had a couple of other different subcovers that they came out with, but unfortunately I left those at the shop by mistake, and they're not going to be in this video, but I did pick them up. Also, I picked up an Archie and Ramones, which I thought was really cool, but I didn't leave that. Walking Dead 159. Batman Rebirth #8. I'm not doing a ton of Zombie Tramp anymore like I used to. I used to buy all the covers, but they came out with their Halloween specials, and I always like the Halloween specials because the covers they come out with are really good. So this is the Halloween, this is the Artist Risque variant, #1, Halloween special, topless with the pumpkin. And then this is kind of like, she's got the Mickey Mouse ears on, Halloween special again. This is called the Risque variant edition again. My favorite cover of them all is the Jason, female Jason with the glove cover. I thought that was really cool. And then the clothed version. I like the Halloween specials because the Halloween specials, and even any of the specials, go pretty good. So I do buy those if I like them. I just don't buy all the covers like I used to, but with the Halloween specials, I like them because of the themes, so I will always buy those. A book I'm kind of excited to read. I haven't read it yet. But I'm looking forward to it because I do like the character. I liked him in the 60s and the 70s. It's Dead Man, #1. It's called The Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. #1 selling book last month is probably going to be the #1 selling book again this month. Harley Quinn, this is #5. New book from Image. I look forward to it. Image is coming out with some pretty good storylines. This one looks good too. And again, it just has that feel, that made for TV feel, and that is Moonshine #1. These apparently were going off the shelf real quick. There's the first cover. The cover that I liked was this one. The guy's got like the shotgun. He's got the, a couple of axes. They're either gonna break some heads or break a couple of whiskey drums up. And then #2 with the wolf and the guy with the guns right there. So that's pretty much what I picked up this week. Small week. I did pick up a couple of other things, but I forgot. So, unfortunately, I can't do nothing about that. So, I did get a couple things. I did get a couple of books in the mail, but the one I wanted to show is this book here. This is from 1967 from King Comics. It's a Flash Gordon #5. And the thing I like about it is this baby is absolutely gorgeous when it came in. I got this for practically nothing, and this is a Near Mint Plus. There is nothing wrong with this book. I had to really look at it. I know it's kind of tough with the glare on that, but this is an absolutely gorgeous book. Now, I don't buy a lot of Flash Gordons. I liked the artwork because it kind of gave me that, 30s, 40s, 50s serial, the old movie serials, Flash Gordon, same theater next week. And I saw it, I looked at the scans, and I put a bid in on it, and I was surprised that I got it for the price that I got it for. It was just something that, I'm not a big Flash Gordon guy, but if I can buy high grade books like this from a 12-cent cover in Near Mint condition, Near Mint Plus condition, I'm going to buy those for the shop all the time because my shop is, I'll talk about that in a second, but the way I buy books is different than most shops. So the first thing I want to talk about, Jeremy came in today and we were talking a little bit, like one of my good customers, Jeremy, who's also a viewer here on the channel, and we were talking about Amazing Spider-Man 361. Of course, it's the first appearance of Carnage. It's a popular book. It's a hot book. It's always been a hot book, but getting more and more in demand. And the one thing that I try to show people, and people don't seem to realize this, is that this is one of the books that has multiple publisher mistakes, little nicks on the paper, that CGC, CBCS, none of the grading companies take away from, because it's a publisher issue and it's on multiple books, so they let that slide. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see some of this. Right here, little nick on the knee. That is a paper cut. When they cut the books, for some reason, the rollers or something on these books gave it a little cut right there. It's a little nick. You can see the nick right by his knee, right where my finger is. That little white mark on the black is a paper cut. Usually the books have 2 or 3 on the cover, small like that, and a couple on the back cover. Same area, same cut. And I tell people, that doesn't take away from the book. There are 9/8, and you can look at this up. You can look this up if you want. There are 9/8 on eBay, graded by CGC, CBCS, that have those exact same markings. Multiple copies in the same mark. Some has the 1, some has 3. The other ones are usually, if they are coming here, they're usually one up in this area here, and then another one back in this area right here. You don't believe me? Look at your copies, and I guarantee you that most of you will have a little nick on them. I have seen some without the nicks, not a lot. Not a lot. Most of them have those little nicks on it, and the companies don't take away from it. I've had 9/8 in my shop that people have brought in to sell that have those nicks. That is not taken away. You can ask CBCS, you can ask CGC, they'll tell you the same thing. That is a publisher, that's a publisher paper cutting issue. They do not take away from it. It's like a date stamp. People don't take away from date stamps. Same issue. So, you know what? If you have a book like that and you can convince somebody, hey, you know what? You can sell it to me cheaper because it's got paper cuts, go ahead. But most people who sell books understand that that's just that's just part of the deal, those little paper cuts. So, I got a call from a viewer in Canada today. Again, thank you for the call. I enjoyed speaking with you. His thing was, he can't find good books up in Canada. The way they grade the way I do, he likes the way I grade. I appreciate that. I am a difficult grader, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't sell books out of the mail. Everything I have is in-house. Excuse me. Everything I have is in-house in my shop. That's how I sell it. And with that said, someone asked me, how do I buy books in my shop? I'm the type of person who, I don't mind spending money for high quality books if I can get a good deal. If I can get a good deal on a book like this, that's fantastic. But I'm the guy who, if the book isn't high grade, I'll pay a high price because I want that high grade book in my shop. I'm not a person who chases keys. Everybody they come in and says, oh yeah, do you have Incredible Hulk 181? Do you have a Batman Adventure 12? Do you have, first appearance, a Werewolf by Night 32, first appearance of Moon Knight, Power Man #1, Luke Cage #1, same thing. X-Men #1, Fantastic Four #1, look, Avengers #1. Look, everybody chases those books, but most shops don't have those books. I've seen people put pictures up of shops. Oh, this shop's been open 35 years, and they have their wall behind them. And you're looking at the wall behind them, and they don't have anything high end. Those books are hard to find, and they're a premium, and people chase them, and most people don't have the money to buy a high-grade book like that. I don't have books like that. I don't have an X-Men #1, Avengers #1 for sale. I don't have them for sale. It's just I don't have it. But I would rather spend $2,000 on a short box of high grade, late bronze, early bronze, late Silver Age books than 1 or 2 key books. Person tells me, oh, so you would rather buy 100 high grade bronze books, early bronze, with no big keys in there instead of a Werewolf by Night 32 in mid grade. Yes, I would rather have the high grade bronze books. Every store has to have a niche. I don't sell new books. I buy new books, I bag them, I put them away, they go in a box. 6 months from now, I'll break something out. My niche is high grade, back issues, Silver Age books, stuff like this that I look for. I might look on eBay, you know, for a month and find 2 books that I want. I've been lucky to find some sellers recently that were selling good books that I like. People bring collections in all the time. I'm not going to buy junky collections just to have books in the shop. Okay, a guy brought in a book today. He brought in a new, what is it? First appearance of Cable, New Mutants '87, and it was, you know, VG plus, fine. I don't want that in my shop. Okay, I have a real nice 9.4 '87 first appearance of Cable in my shop. That I'll put in there. I would rather have, like I said, other high grade books, and I don't care what they are. The only difference is I'll buy books. I want people to come into my shop and say, God, look at this wall. People come into the shop right now and they say, you got the best high grade stuff in town. I do, because I take the time to find the high grade stuff. I'm just not throwing anything up on my wall. If I have 100 books on my wall, it's going to be 100 books of high grade quality. That's how I buy my books. That's how I want my books. I'm not going to buy garbage. Again, don't believe me on this book, 361? Go take a look. Go take a look. You're going to see the little nicks on it. You're going to see the little... I got to show this book again. That book is just so nice. That's a beautiful book. I'm sorry. So, as it relates to my shop, I'm looking forward to getting into it. There's been a little bit of a delay because they're trying to get the new restrooms put in and other people situated and moved, but it's going to happen. I got a crap load of books to put up out there. I got a bunch of new ideas for the new space, so I appreciate everybody's comments, and I appreciate everybody's support. You know, the call from Canada, I appreciate. Of course, Jeremy, you've been a great customer. I got great customers, and I got great people from all over the country, all over the world. So big shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you didn't like the video, as always, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night.